So like, I had it like written on my arm. And I kind of like when I came back to school that day, I was just like, but it had the opposite effect of what he was trying to do. Anyway, so in elementary school, I was a delinquent, and then middle school, I left private school for 1 year, went to public school, and that was sort of where I had an exposure to everyone else. And going to a Muslim school since I was born, I thought like that was it. That's like what life is about. There's no diversity. It's just people come from different places, but we all share the same ways of life and same beliefs and things like that. But then when I went to public school, I realized that was not the case. I was 12 years old in public school, and then I started to act out again in public school. I did not do well in school. I started to do well in school when I entered high school, but in middle school, I was like a disaster. It was not good, and my dad didn't know what to do. He was like, "What are we gonna do?" I would hear like talking to my mom, like, "This kid, what are we gonna do?" And then I wanted a snake for like the longest time. I don't know why. I wanted a snake, so he made a deal with me. He said, "You get straight A's for 2 years, I'll buy you whatever snake you want." And so I did. I started in eighth grade, got straight A's in eighth grade, got straight A's in ninth grade, but I got one B at the end of ninth grade. Like the last semester in ninth grade, I got one B, so I didn't get the snake, but that mindset of getting straight A's stuck with me. And so throughout high school, I didn't get any B's. I got straight A's. And then when I was in 10th grade, or I think it was 11th grade, I took the SAT. I took it without studying, and I did really well on it without studying. And so like I thought to myself, I was like, wait a minute, I'm fairly intelligent. I didn't know that. Like we had this assumption in our school that your intellect is measured by how you score in the SAT, which I think is completely false. I think SAT is not the best way to test students, especially those going to college, because it does favor the privileged population, the people who can afford all the preps and things like that. The kids who don't really afford the preps don't usually do as well, and it's backed by statistics, and which is why I don't think the SAT is like the best way to measure someone's intellect. But it is a reasoning test, and so I felt really proud of myself. And then so like I started to look online at like really top name schools, things like that, see what they require, and I started to like work and like behind off. You can ask any of my friends. I took like a million classes outside of classes in high school. I was elected into the student council. I did Model United Nations. Um, I started the sports department at the school because we're like a really small private school. We don't have any athletics or funding for extracurricular activities, and so everything you want to do, it has to start from you. So like, there's no staff behind you, none of that. So you have to like start it yourself. And I actually have a game this Sunday with my team. This is like our third year doing it, and we love it. And this year this season I don't know, we're dominating. We win soccer matches 21-5. So usually the soccer score doesn't go that high, but I guess they might bump us up to a higher division. But we're having a blast this season, and I finished all of my applications in by January 1st to colleges, and I'm waiting for my decisions, which will be sent in by March 31st.
What schools did you apply?
I applied, I think, to 13 or 14 schools. My father went to BU, and which is why I hate BU, because they're so money hungry. That's what he said. That's all they care about. They don't care about you. They don't care about you. If you go and look at their student population, the amount of diversity they have, it's just a bunch of rich kids there.
Yeah.
Like, or the majority of them.
So what are your top schools, like your top three that you went?
So my top three, I applied, what's it called? I applied early action to Harvard University, but I was deferred. That was kind of a stretch, because I did take summer class at Harvard, and I really enjoyed it there. I thought it was like
It's Harvard,
yeah, it's like, it wasn't because it was Harvard, it was like,
Which course?
it was fun. I took tissue engineering. I want to major in biomedical engineering. I don't know if I mentioned that. Major in biomedical engineering, then go to like medicine and dental school. Don't know yet. But one of those two. I was always fascinated by medicine, but now, like, when I entered Model United Nations and watching presidential debates, I realized that, like, the politics is something extremely important. As Bernie Sanders once said, I think he said Adolf Hitler won an election in 1931 or 39 or something
So
like that.
you want to focus, like, working towards the UN?
Yeah, not necessarily the United Nations, but I do want to run for office in this country one day. So maybe after a medical career,
Yeah.
I maybe a minor or a
You probably have to
master's.
double major.
Yeah, I'm a double major, which is, I'm not looking forward to it, but
Yeah.
I'm gonna work hard. Because I think every person has the potential to do whatever they want. So whatever you can dream of, you can't let anyone tell you that you can't do what you want. And so you just have to work for it. You can dream and then not work for it, and it won't happen. But if you dream and you work for it, it will happen. It's very likely for it to happen. It's always the people who, if you talk to like very successful people, you talk to people who made it to the NFL, or people who what's it called, who presidents of the United States, or people who surgeon generals or whatnot, the first thing they tell you in an interview, they're like, don't let people stop you from dreaming. They said, dream what you want to dream, and because they dreamed and they achieved it, so they know that it's possible. They know that you can achieve what you want to do. You just have to work for it.
I mean, yeah, I believe that, like, everything's possible. Like, what we're standing on is a dream. Like,
Exactly.
The education system is a dream. The light bulb is a dream. You know?
Exactly.
Everything's based off an idea.
I agree. Yeah. That's me.
Okay, thank you, guys. Thanks.